Good morning, students. Today we are here to discuss a special topic or chapters of class 10th CBSE civics from civics book, gender, religion and caste. Gender, religion and caste. Today we will discuss the whole chapter. Okay, so listen carefully. It is very simple to understood as well as to score better. We know that there are three kinds of social differences, that is gender, religion and caste. So first of all we discuss regarding to the gender and politics. Gender and politics. Gender division is a form of hierarchical social division seen everywhere. Yes or no? So it is based on social expectations and stereotypes. It is based on social expectation and stereotypes. In public or private division, what about the gender? See, it is believed that the main responsibility of women is housework and bringing up children. The main activity or the main activities or responsibility of women is housework and bringing up children, it is believed. This is reflected in a sexual division of labor in most families. Women do all work inside the room. Men do all the works outside the home. When jobs are paid for, cooking, clearing, etc., men are ready to take up these works. The majority of women do some sort of paid work in addition to domestic labor. Earlier, only men were allowed to participate in public affairs, vote and contest for public offices. Women in different parts of the world organized and agitate for equal rights. Already we discussed in our previous chapter. These agitations demanded enhancing the political and legal status of women and imposing their educational and career opportunities. Women's movements are called feminist movement. Women movement are called feminist movement. Political expression of gender division and political mobilization on this question help to improve women's role in public life. Women roles in public life. Now, women are working as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers, etc., which are earlier not considered suitable for women. In Scandinavian countries such as Sweden, Norway and Finland, the participation of women in public life is very high. Our country is still a male dominated patriarchal society. Man dominated patriarchal society. Women face disadvantage, discrimination, and oppression in various ways. The literacy rate is only 54% compared with 76% among men. A smaller proportion of girls students go for higher studies. Girls are dropped out because parents prefer to spend their resources for their boys' education rather than spending equally on their sons and daughter. On an average, an Indian woman works 1 hour more than an average man every day. The Equal Wages Act provided that equal wages should be paid to equal work. Parents prefer to have sons and find ways to have the girl child aborted. Sex selection abortion lead to a decline in child sex ratio, that is 933 per 1000. This rate has fallen below 850 or 914 or even 800 in some places. Urban areas have become particularly unsafe for women. They are not safe even within their own home because they are beating, harassment, and other form of domestic violence are there. Now we will discuss a topic, that is women's political representation. In India, the proportion of women in legislature has been very low percentage. In Lok Sabha, never reached 10%. In state assembly, less than 5%. To solve above problem, to have a fair proportion of women in the elected bodies, Panchayat has done this. 1/3 of seats in local government are reserved for women. Now, more than 10 lakhs elected representative in rural and urban local bodies are there. For Lok Sabha seats, reservations women and are demanding. Now we will discuss religion, communalisms and politics. Religion, communalism and politics. Religious diversity is fairly widespread in the world today. In Northern Ireland, people belong to same religion but different practice. The religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. Gandhiji used to say that religion can never be separated from politics. He believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. Women's movement has argued that family laws of all religions discriminate against women. Ideas, ideals and values drawn from different religions can and perhaps should play a role in politics. Now see communalism. The problems becomes more acute when religion is expressed in politics in exclusive and partition forms or terms. When one religion and its followers are pitted against another, one religion presented as superior to other and state power is used to establish domination of one religious group over the rest. Manner of using religion in politics is communal politics. Manner of using religion in politics is communal politics. Communal politics is based on the idea that religion is the principal basis of social community. Communalism involves the followers of a particular religion must belong to one community. These fundamental interests are the sum. People who follow different religions cannot belong to the same social or community. Different religions with same communities are superficial and impartial. As per extreme form of communalism, people belong to different religion can't live in equal citizen within one nation. Communalisms can take various forms in politics. The most common expression of communalism is in everyday beliefs. It involves religious prejudices, stereotypes of religious communities and beliefs in the superiority of one's religion over other religion. A communal mind often leads to a quest for political dominance of one's own religious community. For majority community, it form majoritarian dominance. For minority, it force desire to a separate political unit. Political mobilizations on religious likes use of sacred symbols, religious leaders, emotional appeal and fanfare in order to bring the followers of one religion together in the political arena. Sometimes communalism form violence, riots and massacre. Indian Pakistan partitions is the best example of this part. Now we discuss secular state. There is no official religion for the Indian state, unlike Buddhism in Sri Lanka, Islam in Pakistan, Christianity in England. The constitutions provides to all individuals and communities freedom to profess. practice and propagate any religion or not to follow any. Constitutions allow equality within religious communities. For example, it bans untouchabilities. Secularism is not just an ideology of some parties or persons. Now we discuss caste and politics. Caste and politics. We have seen two instances of the expression of social division in the arena of politics, one largely positive and the other largely negative. Caste inequalities. Unlike gender and religion, caste division is special to India. In most societies, occupations are passed on from one generation to another. Caste system was based on exclusion of discrimination against the outcast groups against the outcast groups. Partly due to their efforts and partly due to other socio-economic changes, caste and caste system in modern India have undergone great changes. Large scale urbanization, growth of literacy and educations, occupational mobility, and the working of the position of landlords or weakening of the position of landlords in the villages. The old notion of caste hierarchy are breaking down. Now, most of the time in urban areas, it does not matter much who is walking along next to us on a street or eating at the next table in a restaurant. The constitutions of India provided or prohibited any caste based discrimination and laid the foundations of policies to ensure or to reserve the injustice of the caste system. Yet, caste has not disappeared from contemporary. Some of the older aspects of caste have persisted. Most marry within their caste or tribe. Now we will discuss caste in politics. As in the case of communalism, casteism is rooted in the belief that caste is the sole basis of social community. Caste is one aspect of our experience, but it is not the only relevant or the most important aspect. When parties choose candidates in election, they keep in mind the caste composition of the electorate and nominate candidate from different caste so as to muster necessary support to win election. Universal adult franchise and the principle of one person, one vote compelled political leaders to gear up to the task of mobilizing and securing political support. No parliamentary constituency in the country has a clear majority of one single caste. So, every candidate of more than one caste and community to win election. To win election. Caste is a vote bank. Caste is a vote bank of one party. It means a large proportion of the voters from that caste vote for that party. Many political parties may put up candidates from the same caste. The ruling party and the sitting up or the sitting of MP, MLA like this lose election since all caste and communities were not frozen in their political preference. Now, politics in caste. Politics to influence the caste system and caste identities by bringing them into the political arena. It is not politics that get caste ridden, it is the caste that get practiced or politicized. Each caste group tries to become bigger by incorporating within if neighboring caste or subcaste which were earlier excluded from it. New kinds of caste groups have come up in political arena like backward and forward caste group. Caste politics has helped people from Dalits and OBC caste to gain better access to decision making. Caste division leads to tensions, conflicts, and even violence. Dears, this is your whole chapters. Hope it will help you to understood, to learn, and to score better. It is dedicated to all the CBSE class 10 students, those who are facing lots of problem in political science. Thank you.